Okay. We're live? Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Huda Moreira. I'll be hosting this talk. We're here with, Gideon Markus from Nigeria couldn't make it. Not yet, I think. Mwaaba Alec from Zambia. Ronica from South Africa. And Tuta from Namibia. He might be coming too. He's trying to connect with his phone. So first, I'll try to ask for a little bit of introduction. Like, can you all tell me who are you? Tell us some information, and what's your motivation behind assuming the responsibility for organizing the Game Jam Plus in your city? Who's gonna start? Maybe Ronica, I think.
Okay. So I'm Ronica Singh, based in the city of Durban in South Africa. Why assuming the responsibility of an organized Game Jam Plus organizer? Well, it's not something I should consider doing initially, but getting people more interested in making games and showing them that it's a possibility as a career was where I was leaning towards. So that was one motivation. Yeah, and then I started off with running some local workshops, developer workshops, and then I guess that kind of took off from there. Yeah.
Okay. Mwamba?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mwaaba Alec Mugala, also known as Epic Kratos on Twitter. I'm a game developer / music producer. Been in the game industry for about 3 years now, and I've noticed a gradual increase in interest in the game industry from people in my country. And I realized that this was mostly because of the Game Jam, because we usually hosted the global game jam that happens in January, and a lot of people were interested and they really wanted to know how games are made, and it was just this really cool environment. So I feel like these game jams are a great opportunity to get more people involved, get more people aware of what happens in a game jam or in the game industry, and gets more interest, gets more people involved. And that's really good because we're in a country that is relatively small when it comes to the game industry. So these types of opportunities are good to get more people involved. And yeah, that's why I'm always willing to be part of this type of events, get more people involved.
Great. Tuta, I think your cell phone had worked. Is your mic working now?
Yeah, the mic is working now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, great. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Finally. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the first question? Actually?
I think the first question is what does Game Jam have to do with your? Why do you want to be an organizer? Is that the question?
Yeah, I just want a little bit of your information. Tell us an introduction, actually, and the motivation behind assuming in organizing the Game Jam Plus in your city.
Okay, just to repeat the question again.
Okay, what is your motivation behind assuming the responsibility for organizing the Game Jam Plus in your city?
Well, the motivation is really simple. It's to network and make it grow in the country. it's always the motivation, because when I assumed the responsibility, I was like, okay, so this is another opportunity to network and meet new people, and also whereby whoever we meet, we create a game, it becomes fantastic, and then yeah, it can move further. It's like taking people, because some of us are already experienced with some of the organizers and some of the people were there, but some of the people in the country aren't. So it's always a thing of taking upcoming people or upcoming people who want to pursue a career in development and just pushing them into this direction, which is also a good thing for them, because they will get to meet new people from a different country and a different place. Because, like I said, the whole idea with Game Jam thing is to obviously is to create games, but it's also to network Africans or Namibians with South Africans, Zambians, Madagascans, Brazilians, and everyone from everywhere.
Great, guys. So now, actually, since you all gave me a little bit of introduction, tell me about the places you are. Like, tell me about more about the local scene as a game development perspective. How is the professional companies there? Is there a lot of students or not? Game design graduation, I think. How is it the education, government? Who usually engage in the community? If it's like old people, all ages, and what is the importance of the community? I want to know how is the community there. Maybe the ecosystem too. Ronica, can you start?
Sure. So in Durban, gaming, game development, and all that is not really big. Well, it hasn't been, but maybe you can say it's slowly getting some attention. Because you can say Durban is not as huge as maybe some of the other cities. But learning from the other cities in SA, like from Johannesburg and Cape Town, they do have a whole lot more of game events that maybe us in Durban can learn from. However, hosting such events in Durban might seem to be I just say
Oh, wait. Tuta,
not
Tuta,
getting
Tuta, can you mute yourself? To
okay.
wait.
Yeah. So
Yeah, thanks.
might not be getting a lot of responses as compared to the other cities here in SA. However, we do have now maybe a few colleges that does provide some game courses. One does do provide a degree, at least if I remember, a degree. Then in terms of companies, we do have a lot of companies, businesses that maybe not solely into making games, but we do have maybe those small businesses that does their own game making, right? And some other companies that develop 3D virtual experiences, AR, AI related stuff. Not so much in Durban, however, in Joburg and in Cape Town, they do have community meetups on a monthly basis. Recently, with the COVID, they've been running that online. At where was it? Discord, on Discord. Yeah. That, and like I mentioned, in Cape Town, they have this event called Playtopia. So I think last year, it's the second year running. So those are events that promote a lot of the indie game developers that make their own games, or they market their games in that event. So you can say slowly but surely it's growing. Maybe not so much yet in Durban, but we'll get there.
Great.
Yeah.
I love the part where you said about Discord. Actually, Discord is really, it's really great for community expanding, experience the
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Mhm.
So Mwaaba.
Great. Well, in Zambia, the scene is relatively small. We don't have any forms of, like, there are no universities that teach game development. There's no like institutions that kind of do that stuff. So everything that we've learned is more because of the internet. We've just, put ourselves out there, and and with such opportunities as Make Games Africa, which we've been invited to quite a couple of times, have helped really open up
Oh. Oh. Like you. He's down? I don't know.
Yeah, I think something happened with
Oh.
network.
Oh.
Yeah, could be something with the network.
Oh, that's sad. Tuta, you want to continue actually?
Yeah, sure. I'll continue until Mwaaba can get back. I think Ronica will try to contact him and see if everything is good with the network that side. So, what was your question?
Yeah, about the local scene. How is it, like, the government, students, university? How is the local scene in your city that you could actually talk about?
Okay, so the local scene here in Namibia is extremely, extremely, extremely very small. So I think when I appeared last year in Brazil and we took pictures when I was at that game jam, when I brought those pictures here or in the videos, that's where I kind of brought attention to the country, because there were maybe people that were doing it, but they weren't well known as I am, or at least at the level that I put it in. So the local scene here is oh, I think Mwaaba is back, so maybe he can go, then I'll continue.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
Where was I? Yeah, so I was talking about the industry in Zambia is almost non-existent, and we use these opportunities, like the game jams, to teach people more about the game industry, just to kind of get more people involved, so that they can also get more people involved and they can bring more people involved. We have, I think we only have like about 2 organizations, which are just a group of people that came together and decided to take this initiative. We have Nerdotaku and this other one, Agora Code Community, and with some help from big corporations like Liquid Telecom, they've helped us when it comes to organizing these industries. So every year we see an improvement. It's like this year, the global game jam in January this year was by far the best and most attended, because other parts of Zambia were also participating, like places in Chipata, Livingstone also had people, and we had, I think, about 8 games which were made, which was amazing, because 5 years ago we only had like 1. So these are the things that we really look forward to. These are things that keep us going, and yeah, we'll get better.
Great. Is there any, actually, I was like to ask, like, as a university or a student perspective, how is it like to enter in the local scene? If I wanted to, like, if I just finished school, how can I actually meet the new people in the local scene?
In Zambia, well, it's very difficult. That's one thing. For me, what happened was I participated in the Digital Lab Africa, the 2nd edition. I think it was in 2018. and I was one of the winners. So that really helped me
Yeah.
meet more people. But for someone who's just coming out of the university and trying to get into the industry, it's like I've always told people that it's best to find collaboration outside, in places established like South Africa. Kenya is doing well as well, and France, which is really helping African countries these days. Just like apply for incubation, or try to make small games, and that really gets you. But as for just out of university going and starting, it's really difficult. So yeah.
Opportunities, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tuta, you were just saying.
Yeah. So in my country, it's very difficult because there is, like I said earlier, there is really no market in the whole thing. So it's quite challenging because we have to find ways to like just bring awareness to this. So thanks to the whole game jam thing, that it's pretty much growing a bit, and it's definitely
Oh no, no, no! It was going so great. No.
okay. So
God.
I'm back.
Oh yes.
I'm back.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm back. It was just the light that was getting to like
Yeah.
so I had to stop it because it would blind everyone's eye. So like I was saying, the
Okay.
whole Game Jam Plus thing has brought in a very strong awareness towards us, to take this further and make it great, because now it's still small, I mean, obviously there are no universities that offer gaming courses or anything. So that's why I linked up with Ronica Mwaaba and Chubo, who's not here, to like try and like create some sort of system where we can teach people and reward them certificates and stuff for like attending game workshops or anything. Obviously, we also have our local games. Like we're also trying to like promote just a little bit of game scenes in the country to promote people so that they can take this further and so that it can work. So it's, for us, it's an extremely tough challenge, but very exciting, to just be part of this, because it's very tricky.
Yeah, you guys are actually creating the opportunities that you said that it doesn't have, but you are the ones creating it. So how is in the context in events like Game Jam Plus, what is the impact that collaborative spaces like this one foster in the development of your local ecosystem? Tell me about how the Game Jam Plus affect the local system, the local scene, and how it is important for you to organize an event at this size. I think Ronica, you can start.
Okay. While there are many online game jam events happening, having to run a game jam event locally, it gives the people the opportunity to get to meet other game developers like them, communicate, talk to them, and because of their space in Durban, it might appear growing to some, for those with experience at least. Majority of us are still working to get that experience. So we think we are alone because we don't know who's the right people to speak to, who to make friends with, to do something as a team. So for me, doing this Game Jam Plus here gives us the opportunity to get to know others that are interested in making games, even if at first they didn't know how, didn't know if they could. It's a possibility. They have been eager to learn. So when we ran our workshops, we got a good response to that. So
Tuta said that you all are actually combining forces to organize this this new opportunity. How is it going for you, actually?
it went well. When did we start? I can't remember when we started. We made sure each of us had some workshop, something to do. So instead of just one person training in the workshop, each of us did something. So we made it like on a Saturday because we assume most people will be free on the Saturday. So when we ran the workshop, it was the first one was a great response, number of people that came, and I think because we did say that we were going to have the recording of it, a lot of them kind of dropped out after that for the actual event. I mean, for the actual workshop, but well, they knew they weren't going to miss out if we were having it recorded. So yeah, at least with this experience, it's something for us to consider when we're doing it the next time.
Yeah, it's all learning, actually. So actually, I would like to ask about the companies there. Did you actually already said about it? How is the companies helping in this opportunity, actually?
I did not say. I didn't reach out to companies in Durban. Let's just say, being a woman in Durban, trying to run a developer, anything is kind of challenging, especially when it's me and a person who's very quiet and shy. So it's a work in progress. But there are companies. It's just a matter of knowing who's the right people to speak to, I guess. Yeah.
Great. You're already talking about it, so that's all you can. That's already helping. So, Mwaaba?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to what Ronica said, except here, the Game Jam has helped in. I think the most important thing is networking, because for me, when I started getting interested in the game industry, I literally thought I was the only person. Like, why would anyone even be interested in, So the first Game Jam I was invited to was, I think, in 2016. Yeah, in 2016. And it was by Site in Kobe. And I went there, and it was a really fun experience. Like, it's something I never thought that, people would actually come together and just like make a game in 2 days. And so from there, I had been like a constant participant of game jams. Whenever there's one, I would always try to invite as many people as I could, because I believe that if we all do that, people go to game jam and they enjoy the experience, it goes in accordance with what they want to achieve in the game industry. They'll also invite people who they'll think also will be interested, and then we can create this community that will grow, and eventually we'll start having institutions that will teach people game development. So events like the Game Jam Plus, when you think of it being called the World Cup of game development, it's a huge thing, because people are going to be like, oh, it's a World Cup, like everyone is competing. So it would be cool. Like, even if you don't really like win, just the fact that you participated shows that it shows that shows other people from your country that, oh, he participated, so I can also do this and I can have a chance to win. So inspiration, networking, creating a small community which eventually grow into this big community, I think is a very, very important aspect of the Game Jam Plus.
I love the idea. I love the idea how you put representation as a selling idea for actually getting more people to participate. That's actually right on the spot, right the point. Tuta?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, right. So let me see how I can best explain this. So So what we decided to do this year, me, Ronica, Chubo, and Mwaaba, was let's use the Game Jam Plus, and under it, let's have something called Game Jam Africa. So Game Jam Africa would be something whereby our aim is to have this game jam every year with Game Jam Plus, and we will try to promote game development in Africa in Africa as a whole. The idea was SADC, because we're close and everything, but then Ronica managed to find someone from Nigeria and all of that. So this year, our idea was to just make it small because we didn't know how many countries we were going to work with. So right now, it's slightly better because we have only five African nations. So that was our idea. And then we decided to do workshops, workshops that teach about gaming, how to use 2D, how to use 3D. And then I did like storytelling, script writing kind of scenarios, how you're going to like construct your game and your designs, your background and everything. So it was fun to do that, because we learned a few mistakes from there and there, but mostly it was good mistakes we learned. Because, for example, we learned that if you're going to do a workshop, like Ronica said, don't put it out on the internet after one day, because once people see that, they'll be like, yeah, I don't need to attend this. They're going to upload it early. So yeah, so those are like some of the things that we started to teach, and when it comes to companies, it's really, really, really difficult for any of us to like get any companies to just not just to like fund us, but to just sit down and hear about what we have to offer. Because the governments in our country, in Namibia, Zambia, and South Africa, when we go and pitch this to them, they're like, yeah, it's a good idea, but then they're afraid to like just support us or just like say, let's fund these guys, because to them, they consider us as a high risk level, so a lot of them are afraid to evolve, which is the thing, because we keep telling them that, hey, gaming makes the most money in the world, so you might want to invest in us, because if we do that, we can really, we're not saying we can like change the scenario in the country, but we can definitely get young people very busy in this. So that's where we're at right now. So now we're like forced to like just merge with each other, and then with you guys, because obviously you guys are bringing a lot of attention to us, because what people are noticing is that, they're noticing that, these guys are actually getting support from the Brazilian developers. So we're slowly but surely, we're getting small people hooked into this. So I think the only thing that we regret not doing so far this year was not hosting a project management or an organizer's management kind of classes, because sometimes it's very challenging for new people to like do this. And this is something I was supposed to tell Ian and you guys too, but I just forgot, because I think it's something that we had to sit down as Game Jam as in all to just organize this, because if we did that, we can like help people who are going to be organizers. But we do have like a, how do you call it, an organizers workshop coming soon. Even though it's going to be too late, I think it's just going to be good to have a talk, and then we can have that kind of discussion, like how was your experience and everything like that.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, the how you tell about the importance of like representation with like almost like a politics voice. I think you are actually growing the voice you have with games, making the government notice you. That's like great.
Yeah.
Tuta, actually, I would like to know, how is the companies in actually how they are helping you in your local team?
Okay, so I'm not sure how to answer this, but I'll answer it in the best way as possible. So the only company that has helped me so far in Namibia, like especially organizing Game Jam Plus last year, was NUST.
Mm-hmm.
NUST is the University of it's a university here in my country. So they pretty much helped me just to get a venue to do last year and just to talk to some of the students who want to be in this. You know, another company that helped me was the Mohoko company, which was which I think which operates within NUST. It's a IT kind of company, guys. You know, like it's something formed at the university for the students. You know, I'm not giving the correct description, but yeah, it's those guys. I'll send you the link soon, and you can check them out. You know, good guys. So they helped me get the, how do you call it? Get just a venue. They organized the venue for us in the beginning. Yeah, to just do some of the stuff this year. So far, those are the only guys that are really helping us. Like I said, with the other companies that we have in the country, if we send them some stuff to do, they just throw it the other way. They don't like. They just like. I don't think they care now. You know, maybe they'll care one day, but now they're just not supporting of this because they're just looking at us and it's like, this is high risk. So at the end of the day, it's something that we're going to have to do ourselves, you know, and just bring more focus and more attention to this because at the end of the day, it's up to us. So that's why we decided that we're tired of going to companies and just asking them, hey, support us this, support us that. So what we're going to do is that we're going to create events on our own, live events or something like that, so that they can come to us, so that they can see, oh, okay, so let's go to these guys and let's see where we can support them, because it's pretty much becoming pointless now where we're going to go to them, because obviously none of us are ever going to stop doing this because we love what we're doing. So we're going to push it as strong as possible to just for people to start to notice us, because at the end of the day, we still believe that we can take this further. You know, even though it's a bit it's a struggle, we're very passionate about what we do and where we want to go with this. So yeah.
How was the workshop then? What people helped you making the workshop? It was all from the other places, or there was someone making the workshop too with your help there?
Is it my question or is it for Ronica?
Yeah, it's for you, Tuta. Actually, how was the workshop?
Okay. The workshop was fun, you know. So what Ronica and I decided to do is that we decided to do the old school method where we just go on social, where we go on social media and then we push it, because we did the marketing ourselves. You know, we had posters, we pushed them out there, and then we told people what we were trying to do. And then obviously there are other WhatsApp groups I'm involved in, like the African game developers, and obviously Ronica is involved with the South African Game Jam, where she was a number of South Africans to join. And obviously Mwaaba was able to get some developers from Zambia as well. And then obviously there was Gideon, who wasn't here, and Chubo as well, you know, who in their own way, they send it out to their friends and people, because Chubo is actually, I think, one of the guys from the group who actually studied gaming, if I'm not mistaken, in Finland. So he was able to like talk to some of the guys there and just push it. So that's how we pushed this whole narrative, and then we brought awareness to it. So that's how we did it.
Great. Is there any like for now, I don't know, but does the government had any offer or kind of support for the community? That question goes for the three of you. In the local community, the government has any support or has grant any other policies or sector industry help it in any way?
I know some I don't know how to put this. They are universities, business. There are some universities that ask students to if they want to fund someone's business or business venture opportunity, right? So if I wanted to get funding for running a game event, for example, and then all I have to do is go in front of whoever the people who, the money maker, people who actually wants to give the money to say, pretty much say that, we have this game jam or business idea, business concept, and pretty much promote why they should fund or finance the opportunity you're speaking about. So there are some opportunities like that in Durban, but they mostly targeting towards the young business students type of their target is. But maybe if we speak to whoever in the government, and they may consider it, but probably what the idea we were thinking is, maybe if we do this for a few years and actually show that the growing effect it's having, then maybe they might consider sponsoring us in a future event and such like that.
But actually, when you finish an event like this one, what you are trying to make out of it, like when you finish it, what do you guys think as a developers, as Game Jam Plus organizers? What do you guys think that we could do to actually make an appearance, make the things go like as well as in a Game Jam Plus manner for all the other game development scenario in the local scene? How you actually want to do something, but not just as a Game Jam Plus. What are your plans like for now?
This question, Tuta can answer because he knows exactly what he plans to do, which we all are going to be a part of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ronica. So the idea, and it's something I was actually supposed to talk with one of the guys from Game Jam Plus, Ian. So I was actually supposed to call him today and explain the whole notion of what I'm trying to do. So, Huda, if you remember earlier, I told you that we're tired of going to companies now for them to just listen to what we have to offer. So we're not going to do that anymore. Instead, we're going to try and create something to make them come to us. So that's something that we want to create, is that we want to create a virtual event. So what's going to happen in this virtual event is that, so I recently got into editing, and what I'm planning to do is have this virtual event where we're going to use a green screen, and then we're going to have an award ceremony, So my idea was, we have an award ceremony in Africa, which is going to be a live event where we're going to showcase the games that were created in Africa, there's going to be a section where you're going to explain your game that you created in Africa from each country. Let's say in Namibia, we create 2 games. So the developers from each country are going to talk about what kind of games they create. They're going to explain, and either they're going to do a 10-minute video, 15, or I'm going to interview them like this, and then we can just do what we do, and the whole world can see, and then they can share a trailer. They can, once they are done doing it, they can share a trailer, and everyone can see. Then we can have awards that say, let's say in Africa, we're going to have awards where we're going to look at a game with best sound, game with best illustrations, overall best game, game with best educational game. So that's something we wanted to create in Africa to bring more focus to this, because what this will send out a message that pretty much says that, hey, so this is the second time it's happening in Africa. So the first time we didn't have any certificates or anything. We just created games, exhibited in Brazil. So this year, we're going to create these games, have certificates for people to have. Hopefully next year, this will send out a message to whoever wants to sponsor and say, okay, let's design trophies, or how can we help these guys travel to Brazil or Rio so that they can showcase their games and even network in person with people, because that's one of the ideas we have. Go further. One of the other ideas I have for my company, which I set it up, which is a gaming, but it's not. It's moving very slow. Is that if I can manage to get that one big company to sponsor in my country, my idea would be to like try and fly everyone over here to Namibia, create Namibia this hub zone for gaming, and then get sponsors, talk to companies, try and fly people over, maybe from a few guys from Brazil, definitely South Africa, Zambia, Sweden, everywhere. And then we can have like a 3-day event where we look at the best games created in Namibia. And then at the same time, some of you guys can come there and you can host workshops for the people, like your experience. You can gain your experience with whoever wants to sign up and just listen. So that's at least my idea. Like 1 year we can host it here, then the other year it can be hosted in Ronica City or in Mwaaba or Gideon. Anyway, just that, because then if we can do that, it can build something. People will look at this and take it more seriously in my country. They'll see like, okay, so it's going somewhere. This guy's started from here, they want to go there. So that's what we're gonna do at the moment. We're gonna like just try and be as creative as possible. So whether the government listens or not, that's not my problem. I'm still gonna like try and find a way to just bring more focus to this.
Love it. It's creating value, actually. Creating value. Love it. Mwaaba, do you have anything to add, actually?
I think Tuta said like everything, and I fully agree with him. I'm fully behind him. Yeah. I actually don't have anything to say. Like I'm still moved by what he said. So yeah, we can do it. We will do it.
Yeah. You said earlier about the situation with the government and the help you didn't receive. You just like really starting the local scene.
Yeah.
So there's none help whatsoever from the government, but community wise, how is the people, like the companies, are they like helping each other, or there's an industry sector
There's
already?
actually a lot of help. The two biggest companies that are just run by communities that I've seen is Nerdotaku and Agora Code Community / Kudo Hub. The Nerdotaku hosts was like the first company to host LS Lusaka Comic Con, which was so that's the type of stuff that they've helped in. And this year they hosted the Game Jam in January. So the people are willing to help. Individuals that come together, but then like there's no consistency, and that's a problem because of the funding aspect of it. Because there's, like you said, the government. I don't want to point any fingers, but yeah, there's like from the people who you'd expect to help you, who would see that this is actually a big industry and it has so much potential, and they kind of just like turn the other way and say nope, it's a high risk, like Tuta said. So yeah, in terms of the community, there's a lot of people who are willing to help. The only problem is consistency. There's very little consistency, but when they do mean to help, they do mean to help, and it has pushed the industry to where it is at this moment. And yeah, if we can just get together more often, it's going to get bigger.
Great. I think that's we have some time yet.
Yeah, I think we have time because we started a bit late.
Oh, okay. So, but I don't know if there is any. How much? Okay. So, now I would like to ask about. a little bit the background of anything that you're making. Like, are you more like an IT guy? The community there, actually, how is the community with the background? Like, there are more programmers, more artists. What do you think is lacking?
From my side, I don't think we're lacking any. I think what we're lacking is we're just lacking that one person to tell people that. Let me explain it this way. So we have ITs, we have programmers, we have marketing people, we have how do you call it? We have everyone who is needed to be in the gaming development, but I don't think these people know that they need each other, because obviously we might have someone who can program and create games. He's good at IT, but at the same time, he's not a good storyteller. So that's where maybe he needs a storyteller to come in and do the storytelling, the design of the game, like the levels and stuff, just to help him out to make sure his game becomes better. Because everyone can create games, or every programmer can create a game, but every programmer can't create a quality game. That's why they need like a storyteller, a writer, or whatever. Yeah, and then they also need like a marketer, someone who just come in and market the game. And at the same time, they need a graphics illustrator too, because a graphics illustrator solves so many problems, because a lot of people don't have money to go to Unity and buy assets. So if you have an illustrator who can create, I think the problem here is that we don't have teams that are established. Okay.
Oh, what?
We don't have teams that are 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So we don't have teams that are established. So if we can get these people together and group them together and establish them, I think it will work. Maybe the others can add something.
Yeah, it's like you said, you lack a vision of a product as a product.
Yeah.
Like, you need a glue for the team, a producer, maybe a producer wise.
Yeah.
Producer mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Ronica
Yeah.
Mwaaba. What? No, this is in Namibia. Is it the same in South Africa and Zambia or not?
Almost, yeah, I suppose. Like with me, I'm more developer and very much like it as a designer or as an artist. So creativity will be my bad side.
Okay.
Not very good at it, but like what he said, like what Tuta said, to make a good game, if you can do it on your own, that's fine, but it'd be a whole lot better when you have someone with a creative mind to put in their own vision to it. And then when you got a good product, a good game, that it's going to get value, get people's attention. All you gotta need now is a person that will get the people's attention. So you're gonna get someone who can actually be the mouthpiece for your game, who can actually go out there and say, have a look at this game and pretty much talk about what you made. And yeah, then it takes, for me, in my opinion, it takes more than one person to make a very good game.
Yeah, it's very true. For me, I was more of an artist. Then when I discovered, that you can actually make games, I had to learn programming. I went to university, I studied computer science, and I did not like coding, but I had to. I trained myself to like it eventually, and yeah, it became interesting. But I'm more into like the aesthetics of games and all that. But yeah, like Ronica said, like it's you need different people to kind of tell you where you're lacking. Like, if I just go into and say that I'm going to make a game with maybe just knowledge of coding, and I don't know anything about art design, I don't know anything about music, I'll just be like, creating a game based on how I feel it should be, even though I'm lacking in these things. But if you get someone who knows about music, who knows about art. You know, you can create this really cool idea from different, you know, perspectives, and that's really important, you know, to get people. And that's why game jams are really awesome, because you have writers, you have, you know, artists, designers, and all that stuff coming together to make this really cool, unique idea, which would be way better than if you just did it alone. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
game jams in Game Jam Plus. It's
Yeah.
it worked like the glue.
Yeah.
It worked like the glue. Great.
True.
About the that thing that Tuta was talking that you're gonna do, this new event. Do you have a date already, or you're just in paper?
So basically, what we discussed was that we'll wait and see how everyone finishes their games. So if everyone is done creating their games, then we'll start to contact them, and then we can start to do interviews and stuff. And then, like I said, it's going to be a pre-recorded event, so we'll have time. So we don't want to put a time on yet because we don't know how our time looks like, but it's definitely something we want to have before the year ends. You know, because when people, we want this to be a thing whereby when people upload their games, or when people have to like showcase their games for everyone to see, we want this to be an event whereby people can see that, okay, so it's working, it's playing, but obviously maybe it's not finished. Okay, so this is also a way to pretty much try and suck in people to support, like get companies to support some of those games, or startup companies to support some of those games to finish it early. So this is like the main idea with this. So we don't have a date, but we want to do it maybe late November to early December. It just pretty much depends how fast people can like have their games ready, waits on a playable rate, because we want to have this event where people can see, oh, okay, so these were the games created at Game Jam. So let's see what games I can play, and then there are links. So that's what we're building towards, you know. So this is an event we want to like have in Africa, but obviously it'd be nice if it can be a worldwide thing, but it's tricky because the information is only coming up now.
But between the event that's going to happen and today's teams making the games, you actually have to be finishing the game. All these people finishing the game. How do you actually find? They can find some solutions that could like decrease the inefficiency or the inequality from the scenario that does make this game very doesn't not finish. How can you actually have a game development scenario after an event like Game Plus for them to finish their games and have some kind of help maybe to appear in your event?
Okay.
Ronica?
I'm thinking. When you were asking the question, you kind of got broken up there. So just repeat what you were asking again.
Okay, I'm actually asking, how can you make the people that's going to be on an event like us making their games actually finish and have a good environment, like to decrease the quality and inefficiency for a game development scenario, local scenario, for to actually finish their game and be in an event like the Tuta.
Okay, see like how we got people to sign up for the Game Jam Plus Africa. I mean here. prior to that we started with running the workshop, the whole purpose of that workshop was to get people who didn't know anything about making games to become people who actually know something about making games. So with those who are going to make a game and still working on their finished product, we will be helping them out there, maybe guiding them how to get to what they want to, what their end game want to look like. So yeah, they won't be alone because we'll be there to mentor them, maybe help them, guide them to their finished game.
In your case, Ronica, are you actually thinking about some kind of diversity, or like some kind of opportunity for women, or not?
Definitely. I was very happy when we got a good number of women that signed up. So yes.
Yeah, that's gonna help a lot actually. Tuta, or Mwaaba, maybe.
Yeah.
Was that me?
Okay.
Oh,
So
oh, you can go ahead.
okay. So sorry guys, my laptop was flat, so I have to use the phone. So
Okay.
I think I don't understand the question, so Mwaaba
Okay,
can answer.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the question was about diversity, was it?
Yeah, no. Diversity was for Ronica. I think that it's her place to actually answer that. But
Yeah.
what my question was about the how can you now, Mwaaba and Tuta, how can you guys make a better opportunity or place for people with finishing the Game Jam Plus, and they have to finish their game, right, to be on the event you're gonna make. So how can you actually help these people with new opportunities or not find, like, take solutions for decrease of inefficiency or inequality from the scenario and local scenario of game development right after the Game Jam Plus, right after this event, just to make them finish their games and be on your next event?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start with initially the plan was to there's this place called Global Platform where we kind of meet and create these games. So initially the plan was that we're going to get people over there and we're going to spend, like, a weekend where we can develop. There are like rooms there, so it was going to be sponsored. But because of the COVID pandemic, that plan was cancelled. So, because I think that one of the most important things to really getting the whole feel, and getting actual work done, actual games made, is to be in the same environment. To have people in the same location. They make games. They rest. There's food and all these resources that will help them. So I think one thing would be to definitely find more locations that would be willing to accommodate people for the length of the game jam, with enough food, water, even some games, so they can relax, so they can know that it's not like a whole pressure situation where you have to, we have to do this. You can also relax, you can also drink water and all that stuff. So I think one thing would be to have more of these locations, more companies willing to sponsor us with providing the space to do that, because we have to do everything virtual now because of the situation. So still trying to find ways in which you can make it work to the best of everyone's abilities. Yeah, I think so. But physical space is really, yeah.
Tuta?
Okay, so my turn. So your question was how do I build diversity? Is that correct?
Yeah. How much time do we have? Okay. So that's it. Tuta already kind of answered the question already, but that's okay. We have to finish. There is something that you all guys wanna like thanks.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so should I answer that, or are we
No,
done?
that's are we done? But do you have anything to add? Like, yeah.
Okay, so with the diversity part, in my country, I found that I think a lot of women are willing. So they're willing to be part of this, but then it's quite, at times it's difficult to find them. So, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have, as far as gender goes, I wanted to have more women compared to the male perspective, because women are so underrated and they work so hard. Now, I'm not saying this to badmouth men. I mean, obviously, some of us that work hard too, but I just found it very easier to work with women because they work extremely hard. So those are we're trying to also like pull women in, and is at women as well. We're also trying to pull them in as well, and just have a diversity in this. You know, we don't want to discriminate, and we don't tolerate discrimination or any of that. We want to push everyone in the same path. So right now, that's a challenge, but hopefully it's a challenge we can solve. So yeah, that's how we're trying to add the diversity is also a challenge. So it's going to be an interesting couple of days to see how things go.
Great. I think that's it, guys. That's it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think you guys want to add like a thank you too.
Thank you for having me. It's amazing. This whole experience is pretty dope. You can find me on Twitter at Epic Kratos. I follow back.
Yeah. Great to be here. Awesome.
Yeah. No, definitely. Thanks for hosting this. It's always fun to just have something like this where we can like share knowledge and everything and inspire whoever is watching.
We are a community.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you.
I think that's it.
Eu conheci a Gazeus organizando uma Game Jam e pelo meu trabalho a Gazeus entendeu que eu seria aqui uma peça muito importante para construir essa empresa.
No ano passado, a Gazeus também me encontrou numa Game Jam. Eu estava trabalhando num projeto como game designer e hoje em dia eu faço parte do time da Gazeus como estagiário de Gente, Ensino e Cultura.
Participando de uma Game Jam e organizando Game Jams foi possível com que eu viesse para a Gazeus e começasse a administrar hoje o produto mais relevante dessa empresa.
Essa possibilidade de fazer novas conexões ou mesmo melhorar as suas conexões com pessoas do seu time. Às vezes você já tem um projeto em andamento, você já tem amigos com quem você trabalha, e esse é o momento ideal para você conseguir alinhar a expectativa de todo mundo quanto a um projeto que às vezes em 48 horas, por menor que seja o projeto, ele vai te dar muita informação.
Eu acho que o que mais dá pra gente tirar de legal, assim, que a gente aprende na Game Jam é a gente colocar a mão na massa mesmo, sabe? A gente testar coisas, sabe? Exercitar bastante o nosso lado criativo, assim, testar bastante coisas ali.
Seja com uma equipe que você conhece ou com uma equipe nova, você aprende a trabalhar em equipe nas diversas esferas que podem existir. Você aprende a lidar com pessoas diferentes e aprende a trabalhar com elas em conjunto. E a Game Jam possibilita isso em um curto espaço de tempo.
Porque são nas Game Jams que você vai encontrar as pessoas mais apaixonadas por desenvolver jogos. As pessoas que querem realmente criar produtos novos e transformar o mundo dos jogos. Então, nada melhor do que procurar nesse ecossistema as pessoas que vão construir uma empresa muito maior.
E é por isso que nós da Gazeus acreditamos na Game Jam+.